Hello everyone, my name is Munir Al-Gharbawi. I'm a second-year master's student at Concordia University, and I'm honored to present our paper, Betrayed by the Guardian, Security and Privacy Risks of Parental Control Solutions. Recent statistics show that a third of internet users are under 18 years old, and 70% of youths are connected to the internet. Additionally, recent technological innovations in personal devices, such as smartphones and tablets, are fueling what is called the bedroom culture, where online access is becoming more personal and less supervised. This shift calls for a new parenting role for parents to control the media that their child consumes, as well as protect them from any harmful content that they can find on the internet. And that is where parental control solutions come in. These solutions may help digital parenting and protect children. However, they also introduce serious security and privacy concerns. This is shown in recent incidents where a popular parental control app, TeenSafe, exposed the details of 1 million users, including emails and Apple ID credentials. In 2018, another app, Family Orbit, was affected by a breach, leaking 280 gigabytes of data, including children's videos, photos, and screenshots. Parental control solutions are a niche topic in the academic world. The few studies that tackle this topic focus exclusively on Android apps. For example, between 2015 and 2017, Citizen Lab audited 3 apps mandated by the South Korean government. The study found serious security and privacy concerns that eventually led to the government abandoning this mandate. In 2018, Reyes et al. Studied the COPPA compliance by apps intended for children, including parental control apps. COPPA refers to the Children Online Privacy Act, a set of rules imposed by the US that places limits on information collection by online services intended for children. More recently, this year, Thiel et al. Conducted a privacy analysis of 46 parental control apps. However, their study was mostly concerned with privacy rather than security issues, focusing on the transparency of privacy policies and regulatory compliance. But other platforms remain largely unexplored. Parental control solutions are offered on a multitude of platforms, including desktop applications, mobile apps, browser extensions, and network branches. This necessitates the creation of a security evaluation methodology to systematically test these solutions on different platforms, as well as avoid the aforementioned incidents in the future. In our methodology, we perform 3 types of analysis: dynamic analysis, static analysis, and online interface analysis. For our dynamic analysis, we capture traffic generated by the parental control solution. If the traffic is decryptable, we analyze the URLs and APIs that the solution contacts. If not, we extract the domains contacted. Using this information, we check for flaws, namely insecure transmission of personal information, insecure authentication secrets, and improper access control. We also passively scan the domains for vulnerabilities and identify any third-party trackers among these domains. Our static analysis complements our dynamic analysis. We attempt to extract the source code of these solutions and manually inspect the code to identify APIs and URLs contacted, and obvious flaws in the products themselves, such as usage of HTTP for transmission of sensitive data. To obtain the source code or binary for static analysis, we use different methods depending on the platform. In the case of network devices, we obtain the firmware using either a serial connection to the device or by downloading it directly from the firmware update link. In the case of Android apps, we use out-of-the-box static analysis tools, such as MobSF. Chrome extension code can be accessed trivially as it is stored in the local app data folder. Finally, We assess the solution's online interface, as it is the main link between the parent and the product. So compromising it would nullify any security measures taken by the solution itself. We check for password-related issues, and also for the presence of HSDS, which is required to prevent SSL strip attacks. While conducting the analysis, we faced two types of challenges, namely traffic interception and traffic identification. Most solutions use TLS to connect to their backend servers. Usually, this traffic can be decrypted by injecting our own secret certificate into the child device's certificate store. However, to do the same for network devices, we would have to modify the firmware, which might not be possible in all cases. Similarly, some Windows applications had their own OS-independent certificate store that we had to break into. On Android, some apps used VPNs or certificate pinning techniques, which we had to disable using Android-specific tools. Another challenge we faced while analyzing Android-based solutions is that Android apps are quite noisy, and we needed to attribute the traffic to their appropriate source. So we wrote a script that binds network packets to process IDs using netstat. I will now present a summary of our results and some interesting findings that we found throughout our analysis. Overall, we found 135 vulnerabilities across 39 solutions. We found 78 vulnerabilities in 13 Android solutions, 10 vulnerabilities in 10 Chrome extensions, 30 vulnerabilities in 8 network devices, and 17 vulnerabilities in 8 Windows applications. We believe that the number of vulnerabilities that we found for each platform is a direct result of the possible attack surface. For example, Android solutions, which have the highest number of vulnerabilities per solution, often utilize 2 different apps for the parent and the child. These apps communicate with a backend server. They also have excessive permissions as shown by Thiel et al. Moving on to some of our interesting findings, we discovered that Bloxy, a network device, performs its firmware update through HTTP, providing no guarantees of the integrity of the received firmware image. This allows a man in the middle to trivially intercept and replace the original firmware image with a malicious one, which leads to total compromise of the device. The device can then be used as part of a botnet or to read or modify unencrypted network traffic. We also found that Bloxy uses an insecure authentication mechanisms for its API requests, where it relies solely on the parent's email and the device's serial number. To make things worse, the API allows an attacker to find the device's serial number using only the parent's email. Using both of these parameters, the attacker can execute any API request, such as blocking the internet, obtaining the Wi-Fi password, or getting a list of devices that are on the local network. Additionally, this can be chained with a post-authentication command injection vulnerability, leading to total compromise of the device. We discussed this process in more detail in our paper. A similar but simpler form of insecure authentication also exists in the Android app security, where an attacker only needs the parent's email to log into the parental control account. By sending it as a parameter in the authentication request, they can receive a valid authentication cookie, which grants the attacker access to the parental control dashboard, allowing them to monitor and control the child's device. Finally, we found that the MetaCert Adult Content Blocker extension sends the full URL of any visited web page to their backend. We consider this a critical breach of privacy, as URLs might contain authentication tokens, user IDs on different websites, and various forms of private information such as the child's name, email, and etc. To summarize our contributions, we developed an experimental framework for analyzing security and privacy issues in parental control solutions. We conducted the first comprehensive study of parental control solutions on multiple platforms, and we identified 135 vulnerabilities across 39 different solutions. This work was funded by the Office of the Privacy Commissioner of Canada. Thank you for listening to my talk, and please let me know if you have any questions.